It feels like forever since I spoke to you. It was only last Friday. We had public holiday here on Monday, and I thought I would have the day off from work and doing some live chats. So, hello again, and thank you for dropping by. It's really good to see you. Today, we are going to talk about the importance of intentionally creating change, intentionally choosing to change. Hi Mara Chris, how are you? Nice to see you. So today we're going to talk about the importance of intentionally choosing to make change. Today's talk is for women, business professionals, leaders, managers, high achievers, or any woman who is ready to make a real change in her health and enjoy the successes that she's created. If you're feeling overweight and overwhelmed at this point, today's talk is for you. So I'm always listening to podcasts and audiobooks and just researching constantly about what it is that helps people to make change, myself included. Everybody needs to understand how to create change, how to create new habits, and how, more importantly, how to get those habits to stick. Because we've all made new habits, haven't we? And then they've lasted for however long they've lasted, 5 minutes, 5 years, and at some point that habit has gone away. So why is that? Why is it so hard for people to make change? She was also talking about 40% of all premature deaths are actually the result of behaviors that could have been changed. So that's not environment, that's not genetics, but the choices that we're making on a day-to-day basis about what we eat, about what we drink, and about how we deal with our mental and emotional stress. So that's 40% of people who are accidentally committing suicide. Now I know that's really strong language, but it's true. And I say accidentally committing suicide because we would change if we knew how, wouldn't we? There's so many people that have diseases, physical conditions that they know would be exponentially improved by changing their physical weight, or by changing the way that they consume certain food products. Too much sugar, too much salt, too many calories, too many this, that, or the other thing. Now we know we can get doctors' opinions, you can get a diagnosis, and people go, oh, change. But the fact is that we don't know how to change, and we don't know how to make it stick. Because if we did, we'd do it. So it is really, we're accidentally committing suicide because we know what we are doing is going to have a long-term repercussions and consequences to our health and to the longevity of our life. I've written blogs and done videos about people who say, you know, I'm here for I'm not here for a long time, I'm here for a good time, or I'm here for a good time, not a long time. But what they're saying is that they don't know how to change, so they're just going to continue with the way that they are living and deal with the consequences later. And they're talking themselves into it by saying, hey, I'm just here for a good time, not a long time. But the reality is, hello Les, nice to see you, thank you for joining. But the reality is that if we understood the process of change and how to do it and how to make change stick, we would intentionally choose to create change. But we are not doing that because we don't know how to do it. So today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about why that is so challenging, so that it sheds a little light on it. Because what happens is we feel we are somehow flawed, that we are somehow I don't know, broken, that there's something wrong with us because we don't have the capabilities to actually change. We think that that, you know, that other people are changing and we're not, and we don't know what to do about it. And so we think that because we can't do it, because we've tried to change and we haven't been able to make it stick, that there's something wrong with us. But there's actually not. The problem is that we haven't been taught how to make change stick. It's got nothing to do with willpower. It's got nothing to do with intellect. It's got nothing to do with confidence. It's got nothing to do with self-worth. It's got nothing to do with any of these things, because it's simply change is a skill, right? I talk about skills and knowledge gaps, the ability to change. Hello Lindsay, nice to see you. How are things going over in the UK? You guys are coming into your beautiful summer and we're coming into our beautiful winter, which actually, believe it or not, the Brisbane winters and your summer are about the same temperatures. So lovely to see you. Thank you for joining. So I talk about skills and knowledge gaps, and the real big skill gap that we have is how to create change and how to make it stick. So today I'm going to turn you around so you can read what I write on the board, because, you know, the whole phone thing. So let me just turn you there so you can see outside, and then hello, and then turn you around there so you can look at the board. And I'm going to tell you, lovely to see you Lindsay and Liz, I'm going to share with you what it is about why change is so hard. So here we have a behaviour. I'll just write behave for short. And then of course you have results. That's very poor spelling today. Results and your experiences. But what's driving a behaviour? So normally what we talk about is changing behaviours or changing a habit. Well, a habit is a behaviour. So we're trying to change something here at the front line, if you like. And why does it take a long time to, why doesn't it stick? And sometimes why does it take so long to make one? Is because there's a lot of things that are driving. If you think of it as like a train, something that's driving it, pushing that caboose along. We've got those good old gaps. We've got knowledge gap. And if you've got a knowledge gap, then you've also got a skill gap. Because skill comes from having knowledge. And they drive behaviour. If you've got knowledge gaps of any kind and skill gaps, they will drive the behaviour, because you need knowledge and skills to change a behaviour. You've got thoughts and feelings and reactions. They are all driving behaviour. And up here, you've got who you think you are, your identity. You've got your values. You've got your beliefs. And they are driving your behaviours. And in there, you've also got your environment. And by environment, I mean the people that you're interacting with, the situations you're living and dealing with, whether you're living in very stressful situations, you've got financial pressures, perhaps you're living in, a lot of people are living in violent situations, domestic violence. There's all these things that are driving in on behaviours. So when we talk about making change on behaviours and we go, oh, I'm really lousy at changing behaviour, there must be something wrong with me. It's not you. It is just a lack of skills and knowledge because you haven't been taught it, because nobody's been taught it. And so the thing that I wanted to share with you today was some of the aspects that can help shortcut that, because it seems like a lot. And you go, crikey, Katie, oh, no wonder I can't change my behaviours. I don't know how to change all of these things simultaneously to create a change in my behaviour. Because changing our health is more than one behaviour. It's more than just going to the gym. It's more than just eating well. It's more than just getting good sleep. It's more than just having a positive mental attitude. All those things are part of it together, and to create behaviour that around all of them, it seems like a lot, especially if you're the kind of person, a woman who's in a career, you're already running the family home, the kids, or maybe you're just really focused on your career like I am, and you're focused on getting yourself going, and you've just, it doesn't matter, we have 50 plates spinning in the air, and you think, I don't have time to change all of these things. So there is a couple of things that you can do to assist yourself with this change, and we've talked about them before. It's the 7 steps to personal health leadership, which is planning, create a plan. Then we had fill in your knowledge gaps. We have develop flexibility, so develop flexibility, behavioural flexibility, because sometimes you don't have to change behaviour as much as you do just change, flex it a bit, be a bit flexible. So we want behavioural flexibility, mental flexibility, emotional flexibility, physical flexibility. And then we had change the focus. I'm going through these really quick because I'm going to sum them up in a moment. Change your focus. So instead of focusing on the things that you don't want, it's about focusing on the things that you do want. So that will help with mental flexibility and emotional flexibility. Increase relaxation, physical relaxation, because we need to release that tension in our body throughout the day, because tension and stress are also driving behaviour. So we need to increase our physical relaxation throughout the day. It's the little pockets of relaxation that help. Increase playfulness. And develop success strategies. That will help you deal with any of these things that go on. So the quickest way, well, not the quickest way, there is no quick way. In fact, if you ever hear people saying, I can help you change your behaviours quickly, there really is no quick way to change all of this. You can change elements here and there through some quick activities, but the process of this is change is a process. It's not hard, but it is a process. But the main skill skill gap that I wanted to share with you today about helping you with the importance of intentionally choosing to change, make change for yourself, is to fill the skill gap that is actually about happiness. And it's the feeling feeling happiness. I'm going to put the ing down here, just because that's quirky. It's the how to feel happiness, because that is the thing. Nobody knows how to do this. There's if you've come from any kind of there's a background where there's been traumas, past incidences, challenging childhoods, any of that sort of stuff, we can deal with that. We can have therapy. We can move beyond the process, or go through the processes that help us to move beyond those. But the actual problem is we haven't learned how to feel happiness. We can be happy here and there, but we haven't learned how to feel happiness, how to feel joy, because we just simply weren't taught the skill of happiness. Happiness is a skill. Now, I know people who have had very traumatic lives. I know people who have not had very traumatic lives. But all people, they don't know how to feel happy inside, which means that let's say they get that new job. Oh, they've been working really hard towards it. They've achieved it. They finally got that new job or the promotion, and you go, wow, that must feel amazing. How are you doing? And they go, oh, yeah, it's really good, but I've still got this going on over here. And so they're not able to take that pleasure of having achieved the goal that they've worked so hard to get and feel the actual joy. And that is an indication that they don't know how to feel happiness. If they can't feel happiness around a big success, a big achievement, then it's very difficult to feel happiness like 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And people go, nobody can be happy 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. No, we can't. It's not the way we roll. But we can go through the challenges of life with a degree of happiness as our background feeling. Whereas normally what it is, we go through life with a feeling of unease as our background feeling. So what this is all about is developing a feeling of happiness, the ability to tap in to feeling joyful, the ability to tap into feeling safety, to feeling protected, to feeling comforted within yourself. Happiness is an inside job. We've all been told that. Unhappiness is an inside job. We all know that. Learning how to feel happiness is an external job. That is a job of learning what the skills are. And it is a skill like everything else. It is a skill to be able to master your emotions on a day-to-day basis. Does that make sense for you? Is that helpful to understand why it's important to intentionally choose to make change, but knowing and understanding that changing our behavior isn't something that we do just like that. And there's nothing wrong with you, there's nothing wrong with me, there's nothing wrong with anyone who doesn't make a change, because we haven't been taught the skills of making change. Changing your behavior is affected by all of these things. And then at the top of that is, if you can change the happiness, if you can actually focus in and develop the skill of feeling happiness, happiness day to day, then that helps to take care of all this, and that's the main driver that will help you change your behavior. I'm going to turn you back around now because I want to talk to you. Hello. Hi, Lisa. Oh, you want to see my chair? Here we go. Hello. I'm back. So, does that all make sense to you? That we've got 40% of all premature deaths that are caused. You're on a slant. You don't want to be looking at a slant. 40% of all premature deaths are caused through or as a result of behaviors that we could change, but we don't change them because we don't know how to make that change. And that's therein lies the problem. So the main thing is to think about how to develop the skill of feeling happy even in the shit days. Intentionally choosing to make change is about understanding that there's more to it, that it is a process and not just something that you go, boom, I'm going to do it. Some people do go, boom, I'm going to make that change. But whatever was driving that change generally is leaking out somewhere else. So the things that are all driving our behaviors are always in there until we start dealing with a way to change our internal self and our internal state. And the more happiness that we can feel, and happiness is a skill, the more happiness that we can generate for ourselves, the easier it is to be able to change your thoughts, that will change your feelings, that will change your reactions, that will change your behavior. The more you can tap into feeling happiness will mean the easier it is to change yourself at the level of identity. So many of us have an identity about who we are, and it's connected to all the stories of the past. Hello James, nice to see you. You from how's things over in London today? What's the weather doing? You guys have just got up, haven't you? It's pretty early. Lindsay's on there from up near Roughwell, up at Roughwell. So it's good to see you both on, thank you. So at the level of happiness, once we learn how to develop that skill for feeling happiness throughout our day, regardless of what's happening, that will help us to change our identity. And when we, our identity being that I am a person who feels joy, not a person who is afraid, not a person who is feeling scared and worried, not a person who is attached to the stories of the past and the identity that we formed when we were younger or as we grew up. There's a whole lot of stuff around that. That's not my expertise or my area, but I do know that when we change our ability to feel internal happiness and feel joy, then we get to change who we think we are. And when we change who we think we are, we develop new values. We have different values, and when you have different values, you have different beliefs. And then when you have new beliefs, you can have that ability to make new behaviors that are sticky, because it's the sticky behaviors that we want to have. So I hope that has been helpful for you, because we need to take charge of our psychology. That's the main thing that we're not doing. We're not taking charge of our thoughts. And if you go back along the line, happiness really starts with a thought, and it's the way we think and feel about life. And we can easily change that when we learn the skills for happiness. So taking charge of our psychology is the first thing. Then we can go through the 7 steps of the personal health leadership. There's a download on my website. You can go and grab that anytime you like. It's always there down the bottom on the home page. Apparently I'm naughty, should be up on the top, but it's down the bottom on the home page. Have a look for it. It's big, you can't miss it. Just got to scroll down. And just remember that changing your behavior, we want to change a behavior because we have a dream, we have something we want to achieve, and that we need to change a behavior so we can get there. Whether it's eating less food so that we lose weight, whether it's doing more exercise so we have a more physical, happy body, whether it's a million things that we want to do, that we need to change our behavior so we can achieve our goals and dreams. Don't get caught up in wanting to change the behavior. Get caught up in learning the skills of happiness, because happiness will take care of the rest automatically. So don't chase your dreams. Go out and create your dreams and find your dreams through finding happiness here in the now. It's absolutely 100% possible. That's the easiest thing to do. It's just a skill that you can learn like everything else. So thank you for watching today. I will be back on Friday. We're just going to do one a day. I think everybody's too busy at lunchtimes for the 1 o'clock one, so we're just going to start now doing the 4:30 one in the afternoon. So broadcasting on Monday, Wednesdays and Fridays at 4:30, and just have a bit of a chat and see if there's information I can give you that is helpful to you. So keep keep an eye out for the word of the day. That we have the Dietless Living word of the day, which is there to remind you just how fabulous you are. We have A to Z of sensational words to remind you about you are amazing and that you have plenty of fantastic qualities and personality traits and skills. And if you feel that this was a valuable video today, can you please give me a thumbs up, give me some indication that it was helpful to you, maybe leave me a comment and just let me know that it was helpful for you. If you thought it was really helpful, could you share it with a friend and share the love around? That would be really good, because we're all here to help each other. And I will see you again on Friday. Take care. Thanks for watching. Love you all. Bye for now. See you, James. See you, Lindsay. See you, Lisa. Bye, Les. Bye, Marcus. Bye. Oh, won't turn